cut the dolman yards from Ozkraft Custom Printing. First things first, you will need the dolman pattern from Lowland Kids in order to make it out of these yards. And the yards you order by whatever size shirt you're going to be making. So keep that in mind when you are ordering those. Because they're custom yards, you won't have fabric left over. This pattern has the option to be banded around the bottom or to have a hem. So I'm just folding my pattern up to that banded line since that is what the custom yards require. So in total, you should have a front and back bodice, your neckband, your waistband, and then 2 arm cuffs. They don't have sleeves, they're cuffs for this pattern. So this is what your front and back bodice will look like, and the pattern will be labeled telling you where you need to lay it on the fold. For your arm cuffs, it will tell you that you need to cut 2 of these. You have 1 pattern, but you need to cut 2 and where you need to cut it on the fold. Finally, you have your waistband and your neckband both labeled on the fold. So after you order your custom dolman yard, based on what size you need, when the yard comes, each pattern piece will be labeled on this 1 yard of fabric. So you'll have a place for your front and back bodices, your arm cuffs, your neckband, and then your waistband. For me, it's easier if I just cut out each pattern piece in a square so that when I fold them, it's easier to cut. Because these are custom to each size, when your pattern piece says fold, you're going to fold all of your fabric in half. So this is my neckband here, and I'm just folding this in half and lining up that purple with the purple on the other side. And then what I'm going to do is bring my pattern piece over, and where the pattern says fold is where I will lay the neckband on that bottom fold. Just be careful when you're cutting and keep in mind that you will not have any fabric left over if you make a mistake. So after my neckband, I'm moving on to my arm cuffs. This needs to be cut on the fold as well. So I usually fold with my print facing up. That way when I lay my pattern piece on top and I'm cutting, I can see exactly where I'm cutting and that I'm not getting any white edges in there. And after you cut your first arm cuff, go ahead and repeat this with your second arm cuff. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to cut out our waistband. So that does need to be cut on the fold as well. So I folded my fabric in half, just kind of lifted up the edge to make sure that my print was lined up, laid my pattern piece on the fold, and now we are cutting out our waistband. Now it's time to do our bodice pieces. So to make this a little easier, I just go ahead and cut out my entire front bodice piece. That way when I'm folding it in half, it's a little bit easier because you want to make sure that you have the center on the fold of your fabric so that that image on the front is center in the front of your shirt. After you have that folded, go ahead and lay your pattern piece on and just check where your image is going to be on your shirt before you cut it. That way it's center. The back bodice piece is going to be a little bit easier because it's typically a solid color. So just fold your fabric in half, lay your pattern on the fold, and then cut out your back bodice. Once you have all of your pattern pieces cut out, you should have your front and back bodice, your neckband, 2 arm cuffs, and then your waistband, and now you're ready to sew. If you're not familiar with Ozkraft, I will leave in the description of this video their website and their Facebook group. I highly recommend you check them out. Make sure you come back for my second video where I show you how to sew the dolman tee. This is a really great pattern for beginners. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe.